Today, I'm announcing 3 additional measures that we'll be adding to the emergency orders from the previous week. Effective at 5 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday, March 21st, all gatherings of 10 people or more will be strictly prohibited, and that includes social gatherings, community gatherings, spiritual, religious, recreational, leisure, and sporting gatherings. So just to be clear, all gatherings of more than 10 people, will be strictly prohibited in the city of Providence. Second, I'm announcing additional restrictions on businesses that will be allowed to operate during this emergency period. Effective tomorrow at 5 p.m., the following establishments will be closed until further notice: fitness centers, health clubs, health spas, gyms, aquatic centers, hair salons and barbershops, massage parlors and body works establishments, beauty salons, including tanning, nail, and eyelash salons, tattoo parlors, and flea markets. These weeks, as I mentioned, are absolutely critical to make sure that we stop the spread before it gets out of control in our community. These businesses, they're the kinds of businesses that invite customers from the street into the establishments and also encourage hand-to-hand and sometimes physical touching between customers and business owners and employees. It's tremendously important that we stop the spread, and that's why we're ordering these businesses to close. And third, I'm announcing today that I have directed Commissioner Pare to secure a quarantine site for our public safety employees. We saw just yesterday there was an incident that led to the potential quarantine of 10 of our police officers as they responded to a call. We can only imagine that these kinds of incidents are going to grow much, much more over the coming weeks, and we want to be prepared to not only protect our first responders, but to also protect their families, so that if they are ordered to be quarantined and they choose to quarantine at one of these designated sites, that they are not infecting their family, and it's important that we provide them this space as a city. Commissioner Pare will establish and outfit a site where first responders, if they choose, can quarantine without the risk of infecting their families and those around them. Once again, we need everyone's help in this endeavor. We need everyone to be part of the solution. And instead of seeing this as a restriction, as a prohibition, or as a problem, as something to be afraid of, we should all take this as an opportunity to come together in common purpose to do everything we can to flatten the curve, to prevent unnecessary infections, and by extension, unnecessary deaths. Please remember to keep the following recommendations provided by the CDC in mind, such as washing your hands and using hand sanitizer, covering your cough with your elbow and not coughing into your hands, staying home whenever possible, and practice social distancing. And above all, at this point, everyone who can stay home, who are not essential employees, or do not need to go to places that are absolutely essential for basic needs, please stay home. I'm very well aware that up until this point, from everywhere, from the national government down to the local government throughout the country, folks have been receiving mixed messages. On the one hand, we've been telling them, stay home unless you absolutely have to go out. On the other hand, we've been telling them, places remain open, support your local businesses. If there's one overriding message that I want everyone to take at this point is please stay home. Unless it's absolutely essential, you should simply stay at home. Home is the safest place you can be right now, not just for yourself, but for the safety of the entire community. So thank you, and I'll pass it over to the Commissioner to share a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. We have begun looking at some space for our police officers and firefighters that may be exposed. We have potentially a few spaces. I appeal to anyone out there that can help and accommodate us. Our first responders are critical in this task going forward. We need them healthy, we need them safe. So we will find a spot for them if they are exposed to any flu-like symptoms or this virus, so they don't go back to their home and infect their loved ones. That is a peace of mind that we should be providing to our first responders, and we will be doing that. Secondly, I appeal, as we've appealed to businesses and people. We see young adults and perhaps kids still in great numbers. And we try to politely break those groups up. There's no time right now for soccer playing or football or even basketball. And so I ask the moms and dads and the young kids that don't go to a playground, don't congregate in numbers greater than 10, so we don't have to come and break you up. It's for the safety of not only our community, but your loved ones. You probably don't think you'll ever get this, but we're seeing young, healthy people in other states contracting this and then transmitting it to the loved ones. So I ask and appeal for everyone's cooperation as we get through this crisis.